99 or 102.7 WMOM, and we are also streaming it on our YouTube channel, your smart devices like your Amazon Alexa, your Google Home, and of course over your radio. And this segment is pretty cool because it's not necessarily the here's what's coming up, although we are going to talk about something that's majorly coming up, all right, the auction there. But it was a very successful November for West Shore Bank and the spirit of giving. And every location participated in this, we have another day left in November, so they're still participating. But we wanted to get an update, see what's happened, maybe even throw out some numbers there, because I think we had a goal of filling a certain number of shopping carts at the the can drive, and that was exceeded. And so in the studio with us this morning, Christine Lamb. Christine, how you doing? Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And Nancy Sandstrom, how you doing this morning?
Good, Chris.
Good. I said Sandstrom, right?
Yeah. Sanford.
Like
Sanford and Sons.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. And it didn't come out right, so I'm like, I got something wrong there.
I know you were the one that told me her last name, no less.
I know. I told you it right, though, the first time, right?
Yes, you did.
I don't know where it came from.
You're doing good.
Yeah, we're trying. But let's talk about the results so far. I mean, again, today and tomorrow left of November, and this isn't the only things that West Shore Bank is going to be doing, for the year. Obviously, you want to make sure, and there's a commitment between the staff to have volunteer hours out there and be a part of the community. But Nancy, take us through November. Was it a success for West Shore Bank?
Yes, it was. The Spirit of Giving was very successful. And one of the most successful parts of it is just bringing an acknowledgement to these food pantries. Because these food pantries are not just looking for food during the month of November. This is something they're looking for all year long. And their cause is all year long. They feed many, many students all year long. So that is part of what we're trying to do, is just get them out there to be known. So if you want to donate, you can donate anytime during the year to these food pantries, Food for Kids, hand to hand. So I think it's wonderful, and it was a huge success.
And you were talking about was it Mary from Hand to Hand?
Yes.
That she was there at Family Fair when you did the food drive. And it sounded like she was just kind of blown away with the results and with the community coming out. What sort of message did she say to you, Nancy, afterwards?
Well, part of it, I was talking to her when we were at Family Fair. And as I told you before, Hand to Hand was started down in Grand Rapids. So I asked her, how do they do events like this down in the bigger areas, bigger cities? And she said, no, they really don't, because they have major corporations like Amazon and stuff that donate to those organizations down there. But that's what makes it so huge here, Chris, is because it's our community that supports each other, and that is the biggest part. And she was just so blown away about how many people came. And as the day went on, the momentum just grew and grew, and she was just blown away by the community and how much they participated. But not only that, but getting her word out, she was just amazed. And she was also grateful for you to be there, Chris, which I was too, because you being there, I want to thank you as well.
Oh, it was
huge.
We were glad to be there, and that was Janelle's first really opportunity to get her feet wet. She was broadcasting with us and went through the store, and even like the stickers. That was a great feature for them, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I think it helped a lot of people know, and everything. Most things were on sale. I think it definitely helped out.
Yeah. So Christine, it was a good event. What other events has West Shore completed here in the month of November that you've heard some other results from? Do you mind sharing that with us?
Well, we tried to pilot something new for Small Business Saturday. And anytime you're piloting, you just don't know. You don't know if it's going to be successful. Every year for a Glow on the Avenue, we contract out. We have a horse-drawn wagon that we hire out of Benzie County. So we knew that the horse and wagon were going to be in the area anyway. I had talked to the chamber, and I said, hey, what are the odds that maybe we can see if we can offer wagon rides? Maybe people would be willing to bring in 2 or 3 canned goods in exchange for a beautiful horse-drawn wagon ride along the marina down to the beach. So we advertised that starting at 3:45. By 3:30, we had a huge lineup. within, I would say, like an hour and a half, we collected 135 non-perishable items.
That's great.
So it was very, very successful. We need to work on tweaking it a little bit because we had to end it at a certain time to line up for the parade. Unfortunately, we had some people that kind of came last minute. So we're going to work on trying to perfect that a little bit. But it was amazing. Everybody was excited. They were out and about in the community already doing some shopping, supporting our small businesses. They brought canned goods with them. And again, it was just a really enjoyable afternoon. We were very just amazed of how successful it was.
And that's always good to hear. Take us through what the employees have been experiencing now that they've gone through a month, and there was a lot of events happening in all the locations, and I'm sure there's some communication that happens between the branches and internal and such. What was that feeling like, Christine, when you're interacting with the employees at West Shore Bank?
You know, the employees get really excited around the holidays anyway. There's just kind of an electricity in the air, and they're talking about people about holiday shopping. Reminding them that we are collecting non-perishable items to benefit the 2 different food pantries. The employees also get to participate in some incentives. So West Shore Bank does a great job that if the employees financially contribute to Spirit of Giving, they can get entered into a drawing for some vacation hours. So they get very excited about that. They love meeting new customers. So anybody that comes into the branch to drop off non-perishables, we still have the opportunity if anybody is getting ready for the winter and they want to shred some of their old documents. We do have that in locked and insured containers. So it's a great way if you've got a junk room, if you've got a home office, a home library. And I'll be honest with you, if it dips into December, I mean, feel free to please come in. Absolutely. That's a service that we love to offer. If you've got some canned goods, we can make sure that they get to the food pantries.
Awesome.
And it hasn't. And I'm going to use the word burden, but it really isn't in that fact. But Nancy, when you had all the items collected at Family Fair and the other locations, that meant a little bit of extra work. Getting those items stored so that you could get them to the food pantries. But I would assume that your team was excited to see that, excited to be able to see a room filled with canned good items and non-perishables and say, hey, we can take that little extra effort and make this happen.
Oh, absolutely. When we come back at the end of the day, and it was like our goal was, Chris, to fill 6 grocery carts. But I would say it was 14 or more that we filled. We actually filled our West Shore Bank van. And it was huge. We had to take it back to our branch in grocery carts. And my staff, when we were rolling in with grocery carts, were just in awe about all the food that was donated. And it just instantly, just speared up the thing. And then not only just my employees, but others that came into the branch, you could see through the glass in the back room, all that food there. That started the monetary donations coming in better. And not only that, but the other day we found bags of groceries dropped off at the door before we even opened. So yes, it really just sparked the momentum, just huge. And I can't say, it was awesome. But we did count the items. It was 1,523 items.
Wow.
That was donated. And also, I want to say a huge thank you to the Pierre Marquette Mason Group, 299 that came there at the Family Fair that day. They made a huge donation, and we just want to acknowledge how grateful we are to have people like them in our communities, organizations that are willing to step up and sponsor such things.
And you had monetary donations as well. How much was that?
We met our goal. So we met our goal in the county, so they will be receiving a check each in the food pantries. Each of them will be getting a check along with all of those food.
Yeah, that was great.
It's huge.
And you guys were matching that too, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
That's super. We are, if you're just joining us, we're talking with Nancy Sanford, right? Sanford?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you got it. It's like, thanks. And Nancy, sorry about that. It's stuck in there somewhere, but there's another last name coming. And Christine Lamb as well this morning from West Shore Bank. And this, Christine, was not just here in the Ludington area in Scottville. It was all of the branches down the coastline and of West Shore Bank from Traverse City on down participating in this. And as a company, this is important, not only from a current employee standpoint and that morale, but also it kind of opens the door when you've got potential employees that want to come through an interview and say, why do I want to work here? Not just for the paycheck, but for the experience and the environment. Is that right?
It's funny you bring that up because I talk about that during every interview when we have somebody that comes in and, people will turn around and they'll ask me, they'll say, why should I choose to come work for West Shore Bank? And, I've had an opportunity to work for some of the different banks in town. I've worked for large regional banks. The reason why I absolutely love being a part of West Shore is that, as market managers, we do have a voice. We get to have some input. We get to, pilot some different changes. But, I would like to echo everything that Nancy said. Our logo at the bank is, making a real difference. And we do. And it's very exciting when you are literally boots on the ground, you're in the trenches, you're walking those parade routes, you're handing out candy, you're doing the financial education, benefiting the food pantries, helping individuals that come in that need budgeting help or getting started with credit because their dreams are eventually home ownership. You don't always get that same warm feeling when you work for the larger regional banks.
And I want to say, my daughter, she is 6, and she has seen how much West Shore Bank has done this past month, where she now is like, Mom, I want a bank account. I was like, Nora, it's a savings account, but she's like, I want to go to the bank and I want to put money in the bank. And I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
Hopefully she gets involved in that Kickstart to Career program.
Yeah.
Because we also sponsor that as well.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Lots happening there. Let's transition if you're just joining us. And by the way, you have a Brooke Felger, by the way, said hi, Christine Lamb. So there you go.
Hey, Brooke.
And just a quick shout out there. Let's transition to what's coming up now. So we just experienced the Shop with a Cop and Shop with a Hero program, raised over $20,000 through the pie auction for families here in the area. And lo and behold, Sergeant Hadman from the Ludington Police Department, he comes in, he says, hey, we got something that is kind of last minute. It's a surprise, but I think we can do this because I'm the kind of person that if something is presented and it's possible, let's just do it, right? And it sounds like West Shore Bank is just like that. Somehow you had gotten a call from Sanders Meats and said, hey, we've got a hog here, a pig here, and some beef here that you purchased, West Shore Bank did. And we want to get that back to you. Well, instead of just say, hey, we'll absorb this, you wanted to take this and make it a greater effort. And so it's coming up with the pig auction. It is, and it's not a play on the police. Okay, let's just clarify. But Ludington Police Department definitely taking a huge lead in this with West Shore Bank and the Lakeshore Food Club. We had O'Neillia on the air just the other day with Sergeant Hadman and talked about this. But Christine, for West Shore Bank to say, hey, let's auction these 3 items off. Half a pig, quarter of beef, and raise money for the Lakeshore Food Club. And on top of that, be able to get this meat into that multiple winners' hands. I think that says a lot about West Shore Bank, doesn't it?
Well, it's really exciting. And if you kind of take it back a little further, these animals were purchased at the Western Michigan Fair auction. Mm-hmm. So you have some area youth that are involved in 4-H, so they were able to benefit from that purchase. We used a local meat processor, so benefiting again our small business owners. So there was a huge need filled there. And then now this exciting opportunity to kind of continue to compound, again, to continue to make a real difference. And we're piloting again, but that we've been fairly lucky so far on everything that we have piloted. So yeah, we're very excited to see what the results are next week.
All right, and that details in regards to that December 5th and 6th. It'll start at the 5th. Marissa, the time that it's going to start. You have that handy?
Yeah, it starts at noon on the 5th.
Okay, noon on the 5th and wraps up 6 p.m.
Yep.
6 p.m. Okay, on the 6th there. And they're utilizing the same Facebook group that was with the Shop with a Cop and Shop with a Hero pie auction to be able to do that, because, Nancy, there's already a built-in audience there that helps kind of move this forward, right?
Correct. Exactly. And it just keeps building and moving, and it's the sharing, the technology. The technology these days are huge to get your word out. So it's very important to keep it in those groups.
All right.
And keep it moving.
So we're looking. Oh, go ahead.
So I also want to say I did see some comments on Facebook about like why don't we just donate the animals and whatnot. But I think one thing that needs to be addressed is that with auctioning this off, you're feeding 75 other families, like the goal or more, where instead of just donating the food and whatnot, it actually feeds more families than it would if we just donated the food.
Yeah, and that's huge. And I think it's kind of there's a threshold. So depending on how much the animals go for, I think the $750 mark. Correct me at any point, but $750 will take care of. Will take care of the memberships for that month at the Lakeshore Food Club for 75 families. But if we can get to about the $5,000 mark, then it will take care of all the food for those 75 families for that entire month. And that takes a lot of pressure, Christine, off of the Lakeshore Food Club in regards to the food and offering that membership for those families.
Absolutely.
Yep. So let's make this happen. This is happening December 5th and December 6th. And so if you just start typing Shop with a Cop and Shop with a Hero, you'll find the Facebook group there. Join it. And it'll work just like the pie auction did. You'll see those 3 items. We've got a Spartan, an Oreo, and a Mason County Eastern is
Cardinal.
Thank you. It was there again, just like your last name. Okay. And so each of that portion of meat has been already butchered. Okay, it's already processed, already ready. And so somebody or 3 people or companies or people, whatever, will win those items already processed from Sanders Meats. And then hopefully 75 families will not have to worry about food and their memberships for an entire month. Christine, did we forget any details in regards to this that we want to share with the audience?
No, I think you did a great job. Thanks for having us on today.
Okay, awesome. Nancy, we appreciate you being here as
Thank
well,
you.
always. And there's Hudson saying hi to our visitors there. And we appreciate West Shore Bank doing all of this for the community. I mean, it's added up to thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for the local food pantries and those in need here in the area. And I think that says a lot. And it's the momentum that one business can do that I think will spread, hopefully, to other companies out there and other individuals to inspire them. So we appreciate all that you've done, and thanks for having us part of it. Thanks for all that you're doing, and you can still shred. You can still bring in canned good items at any of the locations, and look forward to the pig auction coming up again December 5th and 6th, and we'll continue to talk about that as we get closer. Christine and Nancy, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It is at 9:44 here on 102.7 WMOM and Hot